Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some mistakes to avoid when renting your first apartment here in Canada. And at the end of this video, I'll also list websites for searching for accommodation here in Canada.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still.
In my last video, I talked about things to get and places to get some affordable items as a new immigrant, especially student on a budget in Canada. If you haven't seen the video, please go and watch it. And while doing that, watch all my videos and subscribe and like and do everything. To those who are subscribing and are constantly commenting, thank you so much. And to those who are subscribing and removing their subscription, what is your plan in this life? What is your plan? Anyway, let's get right into the talk of today. When renting your first apartment in Canada, it is important to avoid these common mistakes. The first thing I would say is renting a place without visiting in person. For people that are living in Canada already, while online pictures can give you an idea of the apartment, it is crucial to visit in person before committing. Inspect the units, check the heating system, test the kitchen and laundry appliances to ensure that they are working in order. Because a lot of people might patch up the apartment online, and because you are in dire need of an apartment, you will just move in and start paying for things that you didn't destroy. Just like in Nigeria, landlords will give you the electricity bill of the previous tenants. In your first month, you're already paying 100 or 200,000 instead of maybe a 10 or 20,000 naira. At least this will also let you get a first-hand encounter with the landlord if he lives in the building, of course. The second thing is ignoring minor damages. After visiting and viewing the place, and it is something you would like, you could request a second visit immediately to take your time to check it out properly. You could have checked it the first time, but it might just be like you just want to see the environment, but now you are going to inspect. So you could go again, and when you do, take note of any damages or issues that you notice during your first visit and inform your landlord immediately. Document these damages with either pictures or videos on your phone, and this will protect you from being responsible for pre-existing damages, because these landlords don't play. It's either you don't get your deposit back or you're asked to fix something that you didn't spoil. The next thing is not clarifying which utilities are covered in your rent. Don't assume that utilities like internet, parking, or eating are included in the rent. Ask your landlord, which utilities are covered and which ones, you would be responsible for. This will also help you budget accordingly, because some provinces or some houses in general, the electricity and water bills are separate from the rent. So if you want an apartment that, everything is all inclusive, clarify with the landlord so you can be sure, what bills are paying. And if not, move. And you can also ask what percentage of utility bills you are going to be paying, because these people will make you pay either 50% or 40% of the bills, even though it's just you as a student, that is living in the house. And the crazy thing is that they are usually, people of family in their own apartment, father, mother, children, and all that. Meaning they naturally consume more utilities than you, but it is what it is. Shall ask questions. Then this point, this cuts across a lot of people. Carelessly reviewing your tenancy agreement. Most people don't like to read terms and conditions. Yes, if you read terms and conditions, raise your hands. I'm sure nobody raised their hands. I'm also very guilty. It's not something to be very proud of, because lots of time we tend to put our signatures to places they shouldn't be because we didn't read the documents through. So I would suggest you thoroughly read, your tenancy agreement and ask questions if anything is unclear. Pay attention to details such as the duration of lease, the rent payment terms, the rules and regulations, and any additional fees or responsibilities that you might incur. The next thing is neglecting to ask about damage deposits. Like I mentioned earlier, many landlords in Canada require a security deposit to cover damages. They just so that they can use it to take care of anything when you move out. So if you scratch the paint, if you remove the doorknob, or you scratch the door, or you scratch the kitchen button just like mine, or something, just know that your deposit is gone or halfway gone. So it would be advisable to always inquire about the amount of deposit and the condition for its return. Understanding this beforehand would avoid any surprises at the end of your tenancy, so that a grown human being will not cry, because that money is also money. Lastly, another thing that recurs these days is that landlords now say that their tenants cannot have visitors come over to visit them. Why is this even in a conversation? You mean to tell me that a grown adult that can afford rent and utilities cannot invite friends over to their houses? Be for real, be for real, be for real. You know, are they clueless? Don't they like their lives? Is it that they want people to have, mental health problems? Because I don't understand this. It's bad enough that you're sharing apartments with people that you don't know. Now they don't even want you to see people that you know in the house that you are paying for. I guess a lot of people are not talking about this as much as they should, because it doesn't make sense at all. So please, if you want to get the place, speak up and speak out. And if they don't listen to you, go and check other places. Yes, I know you might think that you don't need people, but when I meet you and depression sets in, you will call people to come and visit you, you will not find. Especially in Toronto, where condos are pricey and full apartments are also very expensive. Except you came to Canada, to spend all your money on rent, right? This is not for you. But please ask questions. Renting basement apartment is something that is very, very popular in Canada, especially in Toronto. Because I hear in Winnipeg, they hardly rent out their, basement. They use that storage. So I'm talking about landlords in Toronto that is giving all these rules. Some will even tell you that lights out at 10 because they don't want noise because of maybe their kids or this thing. These people don't have parking spaces. So your mails, go through them. So if you have an important mail, you have to wait for them to be around, or you have to tiptoe. I'll just advise that just get a place that you can contain their madness. Let all of you can just be mad together. You understand? But if you think that you are gentle or something, nobody wants to live a sad life. Just go to a place. Just go to a place that, that is good for you. Nobody wants to live a sad life, and not in this place that can get really lonely at times. They be forgetting that keeping people away from people are things that causes people to have mental health issues, depression, and people can commit suicide. Because they are trying to dictate your life and also take your money while at it. It doesn't even make sense. Anyway, I've come to the end of this video. By avoiding these mixtape, I am sure you're going to get a smoother renting experience, and you're going to have a clear understanding of your rights and responsibilities as a tenant in Canada. So after all this is said and done, these are the top websites, to search for accommodation in Canada. The first one is kijiji.ca, Rentboard.ca, Rentfaster.ca, Rent.ca, Rentseeker.ca, apartmentlove.com, gottarrent.com, Airbnb.ca, torontorentals.com, Viewit.ca, and Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to be putting all of these lists in my description box below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go.